Hello, come back to the Natalie Show. Welcome back. This is video 2 of 100. I'm doing a challenge, and this is my second video today. And today, what I wanted to talk about in this video is really about the top 2 things that you need to know in order to rise into purpose, passion, and happiness. And by knowing, I mean accepting in every cell of your being these concepts. And it's not a question of if, but it's a question of knowing and accepting it. And the reason I wanted to talk about that is because I've been doing a lot of healings over the last 5 days. I've done a lot of breakthrough calls, been really amazing, talked to some amazing people, and the same messages kept coming up, right? And the same healings kept coming up. And I figured if they needed it, there's someone here who needs it. So if you're here, it's because you need to hear whatever is going to be said. So I kind of have to tell you how these come about and explain a little bit of the context. So these messages, what happens is when I'm doing a healing, there's different ways I do a healing. I am a Theta Healer, Certificate of Science, but one of the things I do is heal the broken soul. And it's usually the first thing that I do with every client that I get, no matter if they're working on relationships or money or past trauma, because they need to feel whole, they need to feel worthy, they need to feel deserving so that they can heal and they can really get back to who they are. Because the truth is, you are whole, you are worthy, you're deserving, you're lovable. But if you don't feel that way, it's almost impossible to really create the life that you want. And so I do the healing broken soul process with my clients, and we bring back the parts of them that they left behind. Sometimes it's the part of them that feels like funny or hopeful, and they lock them away in order to be safe, right? Or in order to receive love, and we bring them all out, and we make peace with those parts that are just like kind of annoying, right? The depressed part or the unhappy part or the part that's always whining, or because sometimes what we want to do and what everybody wants to do is just to cut those out. But the reality is that when we think about being whole, right, we have all of these parts, and then we have the part of us at the center, which is connected to source. In my program, I call that Goddess Rising, but it's your inner being. And you can imagine that inner being, and it's connected to all these various parts of you, right? And this is something that came about in a meditation for me like years and years and years ago. And what happens is we think that if we cut one of those parts out, we're going to be okay. And the reality is that the sum is greater than all the parts. You are all of these things, and it's about making peace with it and allowing the balance to come, right? And so if there's a part of you that is hopeful, that is never allowed to come forward, or only in certain situations, you're going to have a misbalance, right? Maybe if you think that you have to struggle, right? And I know a lot of women feel like they have to struggle, right, in order to succeed, and it's kind of like part of the challenge and the solution. The beauty here is to allow yourself to come back into a realization that all the parts of you, right, are there to support you. No judgment, right? And you see them as bad, but Creator sees them as just a part of you, and they're there to teach you something. They're there to keep you safe. And so what we want to do, and when we do the Heal the Broken Soul, is to bring that back into balance so that your soul feels whole and worthy and deserving. And as I was doing this exercise over and over and over again, I had a lot of new clients this week. Totally amazing, right? I feel really blessed. I'm so grateful. And one of the things that kept being heard as I did this healing is, it's not your fault. And if you're here right now, it's because you need to hear it. It's not your fault. Now, I say stuff like that because I hear it and I hear Creator telling me, but it's not always clear to me what wasn't their fault. And sometimes it's the death of someone, sometimes it's abuse, sometimes it's a relationship, sometimes it's just a feeling that everything is their fault, right? Because they grew up with that. And you need to know that it's not your fault, right? And you did nothing wrong. And so, and that's really the message that you need to know. That's one of the 2 things that you have to allow. And it's the thing that you have to accept is that you are good as you are. You know, I do these downloads, and I can download that to you right now. If you want it, let me know in the comments. All right. So Creator of all that is commanded to send a download of telling them that they are good, right? We can teach yourselves that. But at the end of the day, you have to decide that you are divinely good, right? And there's nothing wrong with you. right? And if you can decide that, even with all the problems that you have, even with all the mistakes that you've made, you have a chance to really rise, right? Because the truth is that there is not a single problem with you. Even if you're struggling in your life, in your business, and finding your purpose, if you're stalling, if you're not moving forward, and if you're kind of like holding yourself back, and you're kind of like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Maybe you feel like you're looking into your life. The reality is that there's still nothing wrong with you. You're exactly where you need to be. And you need to accept that. And it's about accepting where you are without judgment. And accepting where you are doesn't mean that you don't want to change it. It just means, okay, I'm right here right now. All right, now I have an opportunity for something else. You know, I was just listening to David Neagle. I was on a coaching call with him, which is pretty cool, actually, if you guys ever get a chance. He's never done that before, where he's answering questions. And one of the things he said is you have to look at problems as an opportunity to expand. So your problems, those things that you're really looking at and you're like, all right, like what are they actually wanting you to do? What are they wanting you to learn? You don't necessarily go back and fix the problem, right? Or figure out the root cause. Sometimes you do. I believe in looking for the root cause, right? And clearing that energy. But sometimes you just have to look at the problem and go, okay, there's an opportunity here. There's an opportunity for me to grow. And there's an opportunity for you to grow. And so the question you have to ask yourself is, what is this problem? What is it wanting me to expand into? And if you can find that and you can go past the fear and you can get past that, then you will, right? And for me, like, this is a challenge. Doing these videos is a challenge. And it's not because I haven't been online before. It's because I want to be online and I want to be perfect and I want to do healings. I want to bring you candy and I want you guys to like me so much that I spend a lot of time stressing over whether or not I should be online, right? And you know, like what I want to say. And so I don't come on, I get all into my head. And if I do, it's usually in my Facebook group. And so doing these videos in here is really about me going, okay, you know what? I have a problem and I have an opportunity to show up and use my voice and to share this message. And you need to know that there's nothing wrong with you. You are whole, you are worthy, and you are deserving. You know, at the end of the day, if you know that, right, and you refuse to accept anything else, any other bullshit that your head tells you, because it will tell you that it's bullshit, right? It will tell you that you're not good enough. It will tell you that there's a problem with you. It's going to want to keep you holding yourself back. You have to go, okay, you know what? That's bullshit. I know there's a part of me that believes it, but I choose to believe that I'm whole, I'm worthy, I'm deserving, I'm lovable. And in that, you live your life from that place. How different would that be? That is the excitement of this video. And even if you screw up, so what, right? You're going to fail 1,000 times. We get to be so afraid of failure. And as an entrepreneur, I didn't know failure before I became an entrepreneur. You know, I went to school, I got a good job, traveled the world. You know, for me, it was like, I have a dream, I make it happen, that's it, you know, like get on with it. And when I went into business, I discovered failure in a whole new way. Like, I had no idea what would actually happen with that. It was like incredible, right? So for me, it was like, what the hell? Like, all my life I've had that. And it brought up all of those, I'm broken, I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable, I'm not good enough, where's my value, right? And all of those problems, now I look back and I realize they were all opportunities. Not only opportunities for me to grow, but to help others do the same and to get past it. And that's kind of why I'm here. And, you know, if there's one core message that I share with everyone is, if you really want to get back to living a life on purpose, living with purpose, passion, and happiness, it's to get back to you, right? And getting back to you means getting back to that part of you that is connected, that is whole, that is deserving, that is worthy, right? And in some ways, non-judgmental, right? Your inner being, your goddess rising, does not care, right? That you are in this space of struggle, right? She's just like, yeah, all right, I'm here. I'm still showing you the way. Are you willing to listen? And your job is to get yourself into that place of, I'm open to the possibilities and I'm open to the opportunities and to take action. And for that, you need to know that you're whole, you're worthy, you're deserving. I guess that's more than two things. And you need to know that you're lovable. And all your desires are out there. You just have to decide that they are and allow yourself to go after them. You deserve them. So that was the message for today in this video. If you liked it, go ahead and give me a comment. And I love you lots, and I will see you soon. Take care.